constant, as its name refers to a fixed value. Constant values cannot be changed, and constant could be used along with constant data. That is, you can have constant variables, you can have constant data members within a class. The same way you can have constant member functions as well. Use the keyword const to create a constant data. For example, if I write a statement const int a equal to 10, it instructs the compiler that a is an integer entity that is constant. That means I cannot modify the value of a. If I try to make a statement like increment of a, it will return an error saying a is constant and I cannot modify the same. Let's build and run a program. So I'll create a constant variable. So use the keyword const, specify the data type of your variable and initialize the same. Now, if I do any operation on this a, which is modifying the same, this will be prohibited or it's not encouraged by our language. Let's build and run. You can see the building failed. Read the error message. Increment of read-only variable a. That means you cannot modify a constant data. Another point is you cannot have an uninitialized constant entity. So if I simply leave the statement like this, const int a is uninitialized. Because a being a constant entity, I cannot leave it uninitialized. If you run this program, you can see the error message here. Uninitialized const a. So whenever you make use of constant data members, make sure that they are initialized. So now I'll show you how to create a constant member function of a class and what are its characteristics. So let's create a class test. I'll keep the entities public. I'll add a data member x. Now I'll create a constant member function. So specify the return type of your function, specify your function name, and then use the keyword const. Now you can define your function here. Let me just print what? Constant function. Now I'll invoke my class by creating an object within the main. So test obj. I have instantiated my class. Now constant member function has a property that they have permission to access the members of a class, but they cannot modify the same. For example, if you try to modify the data member x within a constant member function, it will throw an error. Let's verify. See, you can see an error message here. Assignment of member test x in read-only object. That is, you cannot modify the value here. You can just access. So if I have just accessed my x, then it will work fine. No error will be there. So if I'm just printing x, that is, I'm only accessing x here, I'm not modifying the value of x, then our program will work fine. You can see your output here. So x is uninitialized, so it is giving you some junk value 2 and then it is printing constant function. So it has cleared the error that you have seen in the previous case. So constant member function cannot modify the members of a class. It can only access the members of your class. So static and constant are very powerful and helpful keywords in our language, and we'll be using these multiple times as we proceed through our course.